You went to Berkeley Prep High School. Talk to me about that experience, what it was like when you first got there and what you were able to accomplish there.
Yeah. When I first got there, it was definitely a shell shock. I mean, going from Bible based, which is definitely like predominantly Black, like I very much fit in there, to going to Berkeley where I didn't fit in as well was definitely really tough for me. Had a lot of experiences that I wish I never had, a lot of experiences that I did have. I think, but overall, it was the best choice for me at the time. Definitely where I really wanted to go. My parents made it work. Um, I did have a good time though. I think the softball aspect, coach initially was not the greatest. So trying to pull other people with me was definitely a new struggle that I had to work with. I definitely built my leadership skills at Berkeley because none of the girls played softball there. So it was really kind of me on my own, trying to make the best out of the situation that I had. So I learned to, be a freshman, but also learn how to bring seniors on board with me, trying to bring the seniors in to come hit extra with me. The juniors and the other freshmen was definitely tough and definitely a learning curve. But I grew so much by being, one of the only people who actually played softball there. School wise, I was the only Black girl in my grade for 4 years. So you know how that goes. It's definitely tough, but it built me for the world that we live in today. I mean, I want to go into medicine. So being the only Black person in a room is going to happen very often. And so I learned to get comfortable there, but also not be stepped on. I know when it's right to speak up, when it's right to stand up for what I believe in, but also know when what battles I'm going to win and what battles I'm going to lose. And I think Berkeley definitely taught me that for sure. So I learned a lot of great lessons there about life in general, about how to be a good leader. And I'm definitely glad I went there for sure. Definitely a good experience, not a good experience, experiences that helped me grow for sure and put me in the mindset that I am for today and like put me in a good spot to succeed here at Duke for sure.
I definitely feel that. I don't know exactly where I got that. I got that same skill, just knowing when to speak up and knowing when to kind of just keep your peace and like hold your tongue, like just see things through. Like I kind of feel the same way being here. Like my high school was kind of just a mix of everybody. I feel like that might be what it was. Like my high school was a public school. The first time I went to public school, and it was just all different kinds of people: Black people, white people, Hispanic, Asian, all different kinds of races, poor, rich, like everything. Like I feel like my school was like, I mean, I'm sure it's not just my school, but being at my school at Wharton High School, it was like the real world. And I definitely feel like that skill that you just mentioned is something that I have to use here. Like we had like a racist incident that happened here the other day that kind of went school wide, and it like we had protests going on at our school and stuff like that. And like when our coaches talked to us about it, like, or when I heard about it, it kind of didn't really phase me too much, just knowing that I'm in a different environment and like it's around, and like just knowing that even though it's not always like brought to light, like it's always there. So I feel that for sure. You started on varsity as a freshman. Just talk to me about that. You talked about your leadership skills growing. I know it wasn't easy just trying to convince older girls and older people to kind of follow along your lead, but how difficult was that actually?
Very difficult. A lot of the girls, they never touched the softball until the spring, until softball season. And a lot of them were just out there to either put on their college resume or just to just have fun, to say that they did something when their parents asked them. And so we were really bad my freshman year, like bottom of the district, like people getting hurt because they just weren't good enough to play with some of the girls. And we ended up going through a coaching change, and that definitely changed the level of commitment that we expected from our team. But one thing that I did was just continuously raise the standard. Even if I wasn't pulling girls with me to come in for extra, they saw me doing extra. So they felt like if they wanted to ever do it, they could come with me. I was never like, leave, like I need to do this myself. I was always inviting people to come with me, and I'm not making them feel bad for not coming, but also encouraging them that if they did want to stay, like I'll always be here. Like if you ever wanted to do extra. And a few of the other girls ended up coming with me. A few of them started playing travel ball, and they started to find their passion for softball. And I was glad that I could help them find that, through my extra work and through just seeing me. They found themselves within softball, within sport. And I think that's the biggest thing is sports are there to help you find yourself and help you find your passions. And so I was glad I was able to help them do that. And, I was saying that we were really bad freshman year, going through a coaching change. We ended up winning districts my senior year, basically with the same team. And that just shows you that it wasn't for lack of talent or lack of skill, but it was the lack of buy-in that we had, lack of commitment to the team, lack of commitment to the sport. And so just changing the standard by me having high standards for myself, it just raised the bar for the whole team. And so I learned to bring that to every room that I'm in, whether it's school, softball, just sitting with my family, with my friends, just demanding a level of excellence in all aspects of my life will only make the people around me better. And that's definitely something that I continue to strive to do.